Well, hello everyone, and this is EC the Gamer, and we are finally doing the final thought slash review of NieR Automata. Before I start, I wanted to say that if you have seen some of my previous videos with my final thoughts of other games, I pretty much talk about a lot of the game, so spoiler alert, for those who don't want to be spoiled, I pretty much talk about the game. I mean, at this point, pretty much everyone has have. If you haven't played this game, played it. But yes, there's going to be spoilers and everything. But it is what it is. This game has been a long time now already out. So if you haven't played it, you're missing a lot of an amazing game. So please play it first. But yeah, this is the final thoughts about this game. Uh, whew, it's been a long journey. I mean, I'm finally glad to have played NieR Replicant first and then NieR Automata. The first thing that I want to say about that is when I played this game when it came, I don't remember what year it was, but I mean it was 2015 or 16 maybe, I don't know. It was a few years after, or not a few years, I think it came after the release of the PS4. But when I remember NieR Automata, I was always afraid because then I'm one of those people that if this is a sequel of a previous game, I'd like to play the first game, but if the game is very hard to get, then I struggle a lot to play it, unless, and this was the case with this game, this game has pretty much, I don't want to say zero relation to the first game. Like there's no actual connection, like an or important connection that you need to have to understand the game. At least the story that this game has. If you want to have the broader story, then yeah, the broader story of this Yoko Taro's games, then yeah, you should play the other games, but it's not necessary. I remember when this game came, when they released this, before the game released, PlayStation actually made an article in their blog, and it was a good one because it was like a question and answer kind of a blog, and one of the question was, do you need to play the original one, the NieR? And the answer was no. This takes let me see, the first game NieR takes place in the year 2000, 3000, something like that. This one takes in 11,000 years, so there's nearly 10,000 years or approximately there in between games, so there's really no necessity for you to play the first one, although I definitely recommend it, and especially now. The first one wasn't really well liked by the overall gaming community. The fan base definitely love it, but I think it was, I always remember when I had the PS3, the game just didn't look, I mean, when I tended to compare it to games with like Killzone 3 or Killzone 2, Resistant. They look much better than this one, than NieR, so I never played it. But now thankfully because of the success of NieR Automata, they brought it back. They made a remaster slash remake of NieR, calling it NieR Replicant, which is, I believe, the Japanese version this time. NieR actually had two versions. There was the NieR Gestalt and NieR Replicant. NieR Gestalt, you play as a father and daughter relationship. That was for the Western area, and NieR Replicant was in the Japanese, in Japan. So yeah, that's the one that they brought, the Japanese one. But yeah, you don't need to play this, but I'm glad that I actually played them now. So I now have the full scope of the story. Not only that, before I played NieR Replicant, I already played NieR Drakengard 3. So I got a bit more of the story, so I'm glad that I did that too. So let me see, where do I start? Uh, so yeah, this game, it is very depressing. Uh, this war between the machines and the androids is just, I mean, this is the 14th machine war, so this is a never-ending battle. Uh, and you know, I the way I've seen the games, there's always this existential crisis with the characters, but I always thought when at least some of the things that I seen from Drakengard and up to NieR, it seemed like Drakengard always felt like the collapse or the fall of humanity as a society or everything else. You know, you can see how the constant battles that they have between them and their plans, how they end up failing them, you know. And then the NieR series is just, it doesn't show us only the fall of humanity, it's just the end of it, you know, the finale of the humanity and the rise of a new, how you could say, a new species, in this case the androids, the synthetic life forms. And you know, the NieR Replicant was pretty much about humanity not accepting that it was over for them. The moment I always felt like they put their hopes on the androids, and I mean the androids were doing a good job. It's just that when humanity left, you know, when they decided, you know, you must understand that humanity was in a bit of a pickle because they were fighting a pandemic essentially that was killing them, and they had to find a solution as quickly as possible. And they designed Project Gestalt, and that project was the thing that, you know, was the solution that they came that time. But you know, I've learned a lot. There's a guy on YouTube. Go look at his channel. It's called Brandon SP, I believe. Brandon SP. That guy has some really good videos of explaining the story of NieR. Because the problem with Yoko Taro, I love Yoko Taro, but then I hate the way he tells his stories because it's never here. It's not completely here in the games. Even though his games were the beginning of, you know, from Drakengard to NieR, he always uses novels, CD, I don't know, some audio, some CD format, theater, plays, books, comics. He uses different things to tell the story. So the story is very sparse. You know, it's very separate in different areas. So the full scope of the story, you will never get it in the games. You will get a lot of it, but there are bits and pieces that you never get, and that's why you always have to go look her videos on the internet, because you have to find someone that has dedicated time to look for this information, unless you want to do that. But I think that's way too hard. I think it's better to look for someone that already have done the job. And there's some really good videos, so you just have to look on the internet. So one thing that I must say, now that I play NieR Automata again, man, NieR Replicant did a great job when they remastered it. Because one thing that I can definitely, when I played this game the first time, I never put a lot of stock at it because, you know, it was my first time playing any Yoko Taro game. So, but I did like what they did with NieR Replicant because I believe they voice all of the characters. The NPCs, they all have voices. This game, he has only the protagonist, the main characters, and some of the other characters, but not everyone. So, bit positive, bit plus for the NieR Replicants. They did a good job there. But this game is it just looks beautiful even today, and as A2 says at the end of the game, you know, after so much struggle, she hating the world and everything, it's at the very last moment that she says that she finally realized how beautiful this world is, and that's just amazing because it's like, I don't know how she's able to see it because this world sucks. The world NieR sucks really, but I can see it. You know, there's some good things. The big problem with the conflict here is that you have two sides that are fighting a never-ending war based on a lie. Humanity at this time is already dead. The machines, the creators of the machines, are also dead. So you have two factions that are pretty much leaderless. They don't have a leader that's telling them what to do. They just have a system that was designed to just perpetuate the conflict. And that's what I hate about this humanity here, because I mean, one thing that I found out was that, not in the game, but I found it in the game but never understood it, but with some of the videos I've been able to understand, like, you know, this was created by the androids themselves. Jorha, the destruction of Jorha, the constant 2B killing 9S was a system to perpetuate a lie that humanity was a lie, for a good reason. You know, it's interesting that think about any movie, anime, TV show. The motives are always, I feel, that tend to be just or tend to be right, but the methods that they use, that's where everything goes to hell. So the method that they use here is just, again, they're androids, they're machines, so the androids themselves see themselves as, you know, we're just objects, tools for our masters, for our creators. In this case, humanity. If humanity's gone, well, it doesn't matter what happened to us. But I think that's the problem, that one thing that we see in this game is that both sides, the machines and the androids, we start to see some of them realizing that there's more to life than just fighting an never-ending conflict. The machines, like Pascal, he discovers, you know, he gains sentience and he decides to stop fighting. The commander, in a weird way, yeah, even though she perpetuates the lie, you can see that some of her actions, she wanted this to change. Like, she wanted a different outcome. So that's a very interesting part where she says, you know, she could have just said to 2B and 9S to stay on the bunker, but no, she said to survive. And that doesn't make sense because she knows what's supposed to happen, or at least some of it, that they're supposed to die, but she wants them to live and find another solution. And at the end, it's actually what's so ironic. It's the past, it's your little companions that you have from the beginning of the game, that they become, again, they grow consciousness and they decide that they want to change. Now they don't know if their decision at the end will change the future, but at the very least they believe that that's how you should start with something. You one step, take one step at a time. That's what they do. They save 9S, 2B, and A2. They save them, the three of them, and I believe this game. When NieR Replicant ended, I thought that it was hopeful, but that's because I didn't understand the ending. Now that I understood the ending, yeah, it was a very very sad ending. Now in this case, it's different. This case is hopeful because at this point, I don't know if the lie is going to be perpetuated. I don't know how it's going to be, but I believe things are going to change. I hope that Yoko Taro makes another game, but this time, forget about humanity. Just focus on the story of the androids. Whether they fall or rise, I don't care. I just want a story where whatever the androids do is whatever happens to the androids, to this new life form, in my opinion, I hope that it is because of their decisions. That's the type of game that I want to play now. But yeah, that's story-wise. Oh, something that I was able to corroborate. The replicants in the first game, they were not machines. I thought they were androids, but no, they seem to be actual life forms that, biological bodies that were created, that could not procreate, but that's why they have blood inside of them and everything. So yeah, they were biological, and that's why I'm saying that the ending of NieR Replicant, based on this knowledge, is sad because at the end of the day, at the decision that Kaine makes in ending E of NieR Replicant, he pretty much destroyed the system completely. The one that not create the Gestalt, because the Gestalts, once NieR or the Shadow Lord was killed, the Gestalts just went rampant. They started to relapse. So that part of the project was the Gestalts were all over. The humanity at that point, the souls of the humans were already lost, or they were about to die out one by one. But the replicants, I thought they would have another, a new lease in life. But based on what I saw, what I understand now, because Kaine destroyed the system, there's no way to create more replicants. And essentially, when we see NieR, see those videos, those are the NieR Replicant videos. When Kaine brings NieR again, I believe that was the last replicant created. Until the others replicant, they died out. I don't know if they died out because of age. I assume they did, or maybe because it wasn't because of the alien invasion. By the time the aliens invaded, I think the humanity was pretty much all but gone at that point. And one of the reasons why they created Jorha and all of this thing about the lie of humanity being alive and being on the moon is simply because some androids believe that they had to find a solution to the morale of the machine, to the androids, and that's what they came up with. Created a special unit that just told a lie that humanity was still alive, and that just remember one thing: Jorha is just a small group in the army of the androids. The Resistance is the actual army, the main force of the androids. So yeah, I love. I know a lot of people love 2B. I love A2, and from what I also, and you can see in her attitude, I believe A2 is actually based on Kaine, and when she was created, they definitely got her personality from uh, Kaine. That's why actually A2 defected after the Pearl Harbor descent, because of her attitude, her personality was based on Kaine. We all know how Kaine was. She was very rebellious, so she would never follow authority. But yeah, man, those characters definitely had a tragic ending. I don't know what happened to Kaine, but Emil's story, damn, that's harsh. Like, now, I thought that my assumption was that the version that we saw at the end there, the fight with Emil, that version was actually the one that was running in the car. That was actually Emil, but no, it seemed that he actually died a long time ago, and that might be a version of him. Even so, it doesn't matter. Like, it's so sad, after so many years, still be alive. That was his curse, being immortal, or not immortal, but long living, But yes, my favorite is 2B, then sorry, A2, then 2B, and 9S is my third character. I didn't like 9S because, I mean, I did like some things of him, but he just reminded me of NieR, the older version of NieR. When you play the older NieR, he's on a path to destroy the shade. He just kill, and that's what happened with 9S. He just wanted to kill everyone, and yeah, it's a sad ending for him, But I believe it's also because of him being infected. The death of 2B also affected him very much. And this game proves what I was saying. Like, I don't believe that humanity, what they captured in the first game, the Gestalt, they said that was the soul. I don't believe that was the soul. I just believe what they were able to do maybe was they were able to copy the human mind. Because what is a soul? I really don't know, some people say that it's memories. That's what makes a soul, that in the brain. That's why when someone is comatose, some people feel like, well, that person is pretty much dead, clinically dead, and pretty much what's maintaining that person alive is the machines, But we really don't know. We don't have that answer. That's one of the things that this game tried to, this existential crisis. What is a soul? Do we have a soul, or is the soul just memories? Can a machine have a soul? Does a machine, based on what we see in this game, is this the same thing as a soul, having a soul of consciousness, or is it just androids or machines trying to imitate their creators? I really don't know, but in my opinion, they are a new type of life form. Star Trek is actually good with this. Star Trek with Data, that character is amazing, and he makes us question that about what is the definition of a soul, of a consciousness, and how do you define it? And even if you have a definition that you have created, does that definition, will it hold up to the things that are still unknown? Like, for example, there's aliens in this game. Like, you don't know how aliens define the soul or the consciousness, or they even have those things. But yeah, that's part just of the story that I wanted to mention. My favorite ending is definitely ending C and ending E, the one, well, at least the one that I play with A2. where she saves 9S and she sacrificed herself to destroy the tower. Uh, but yeah, overall amazing game. That's far as the story, but when it comes to the gameplay, you can see Platinum Game just at their best in this game, which is something that disappoints me a lot of Platinum games, because recently they made Babylon's Fall, and I didn't play that game, but I didn't have to. Already seeing it, it looked really bad, and the gameplay seemed very slow, which is weird because these guys are masters in gameplay. And I said before, I don't care about gameplay a lot. Like I mean, I want a good gameplay, but good mechanics and everything, but I want the story to be the most important part. But these guys, I think their games, for the most part, if the story doesn't succeed, it doesn't matter, because they have great gameplay, and that definitely has maintained their legacy. But Platinum Games, like, I don't know, they're a weird company. It's like they can never maintain a level of, you know, what do you call it, a level of I forgot the word, a quality. You know, they, for example, they made NieR Automata, huge success for them. They made Bayonetta before NieR Automata, and I don't know if it was a success, but it was well liked by a lot of people. It became a cult game. You know, like it had a good following. Then they made Bayonetta 2 exclusively for Nintendo, and it was a successful game for them. They made NieR Automata, but then they made Astral Chain, which is one of those games that I want to play if I were to buy a Nintendo Switch. But then they made Babylon's Fall, and then they go back down. So I'm like, I don't understand. How can they do that? Like, yeah, I know a lot of people say, "Whoa, it's Square Enix fault." Like, they try to, you know, they enter into the development process of Platinum Games, and that's why the game sucks. They want the live service game, and I remind a lot of people that look for some interviews of Platinum Games, for the people in the executives in Platinum Games, and they have been wanting to create a live service game, and for good reason. They just want to have they want to stay independent, so they want to have something stable. And from a financial standpoint, you know, like they want to make a game that gives them enough money to not ask anyone for money to make their game. So they also made Vanquish. That was another good game, but it wasn't as successful. Metal Gear Revengeance, never played that one, but I know it looks really cool. But yeah, it's a back and forth. Bayonetta 3 now. That game looks really cool, but again, like, let's see what happens with the next game. Hopefully it's successful. Yeah, as far as gameplay, you can see Yoko Taro's and that type of changing the game from being a third-person game to a platform game to a mini game. Like, it's, you know, the gameplay, you know, is spot on here. The boss battles are really good and everything. And yeah, gameplay wise, and the world is also good, you know. It's very varied, which is weird because the game seems to have the same the way it looks is at this grayish undertone in the background, but it still looks beautiful, you know. The city, So yeah, uh, amazing game. I'm glad that I played now both games at the same time. Uh, so what more can I say? Gameplay is great. The characters are also great. Again, I would have loved the character to have more dialogue, voices, but again, I don't think they even knew this game was going to be as successful, so maybe that's why they didn't put a lot of effort in that part. Because they did it with NieR Replicant, they gave voices to pretty much everyone. But other than that, amazing to see Devil and Popola too, and that's the other thing, like, when you see those characters, Devil and Popola, and male, uh, you see A2, which is essentially a version of Kaine. 9S, which is essentially a version of NieR. I don't know if Ijona could be 2B. She could be, maybe not, but when you see their characters and you compare them, already when you make the comparison, you can see that the main characters in the first game, they did not have a happy ending. Yeah, the Project Gestalt, the failure of Project Gestalt, it pretty much destroyed Devil and Popola. Pretty much everyone in the world, all the other androids hated them because they felt that their versions, the Devil and Popola models were defective, so they were pretty much destroyed. Only those two were left, and they were given this horrible, this cruel thing where they were always going to experience guilt forever, but they would never know why they felt guilty. That's crazy. And this Devil and Popola of this game, they were not involved in this. They were from another sector, another region, and yeah, they were still faulted for what the Devil and Popola that were in charge of the Shadow Lord of the original Gestalt of what they did, But yes, I still think, like, could the Gestalt project be successful? I don't think so. You could say that, yeah, the Shadow Lord's death maybe affected things, but I think someone did something to this project. Someone put their hands. Yeah, I remember correctly in seeing one video, I think they mentioned that it's possible that there was a bit of a sabotage by someone, because some people you might not know, when the project was presented to humanity, a lot of people were against it. There was even a faction called Legion that they had to do with the Red Eyes, I believe. This is an enemy that humanity has essentially been fighting, not only in this world, but in the previous world in Drakengard, I believe, in the other dimension, the other universe. They've been fighting this. I don't know what they call. They had a name, but I don't remember it now. But they have these red eyes, and it's like these godlike beings that force you to make a choice into either serving them or dying. And that the white coloration syndrome is actually because of that. Supposedly, some people theorize that it's because those who decide to go against this godlike beings, they end up dying. And those who decide to, you know, serve them become the legion. So that's the whole reason of the red eye. That's what you see here too. Like, it's so weird that I thought that virus would essentially just stay with the humans, but no, it actually followed the machines and the androids. Like, you don't serve them, you die. But yes, I'm glad that at the end we have a good of a sweet moment. I don't know if to call it bittersweet, but you know, 9S and 2B alive and A2 at the same time. Now what's going to happen, I don't know. I also, what I still don't have clear is this was not the same as before, because for those who you might not know this, but Jorha has not been around for a long time. From what I understand, they've been very recent, in the last maybe, I mean, this is the 14 Machine Wars, so maybe they've been, if I remember correctly, the Pearl Harbor descent, that was the 8th one. So maybe they have been between the 8th and the 6th, maybe from the 6th and the 8th. That's when the Jorha project started. So they're not being a long time. So what I'm trying to say is the version that we have now is very recent. So they've been essentially what Command has been doing. It's been using the Jorha units to just pretty much fight the machines, die to cover up to continue to cover up the line, then create new androids, better androids based on the information that they recollect from the previous Jorha units, and just continue the process. And then the machine life forms, they do the same thing, you know. Eventually seem like a machine, a collective is formed in the machines, and that collective decides to fight this final battle against the androids, and they just perpetuate the same thing over and over again. And it's only machine like Pascal and A2 and even 2B, like, they start to separate themselves from everyone else because they start to want a different life than the custom battle. So yeah, but yeah, story wise amazing, gameplay wise amazing. The side quests are really good too, you know. They always end out like you think you know what's going to happen, but it just gives you like a shocker. You never expect what's going to happen. What else? And the music. Oh, again, amazing music. It is. I don't know which music is better. Which soundtrack is NieR Replicants or this one. I think both are amazing. So yeah, I think that's overall. I'll give this game, personally, I'll have to give it a 10 out of 10. I know that people might be, are you crazy? There's flaws in this game. So personally, I give it a 10 out of 10. But there's flaws, I know. I can see this game go, for some people, an 8 or a 9, but I'm a 10 because I just enjoy the story. And the one thing that I did like about this game is that this game makes it like you play the first route A with 2B, then route B you play as 9S, and route C you play as A2 and 9S, and a bit of 2B, but it always feels different. 9S is different than 2B, and A2, even her, is different when you play as her. She's similar to 2B, but she has some different things that makes her really cool to play. And that's the one thing that I never liked of NieR Replicant. It was you were playing the same thing over and over again. And yes, you play. They give you, for example, once you finish the first routes on NieR Replicant, they give you. Yeah, they give you. In the second one, in Route B, they give you the context from the shade from the enemy, essentially. And then Route C, they give you from more info from Devola and Popola. But it is not enough, in my opinion, to differentiate them between the others. This game does differently because there are different, there are new quests in each one of the endings, the routes. The 9S has some new side quests. A2 has some other side quests too in her route, so they definitely make it like worth playing multiple times. Whereas the other game, I pretty much get bored by the second or third one. Like at that point, I'm like, why am I playing this? Like it's the same thing, but you have to, because you have to understand the story completely. But yeah, I'm glad that I played them, and I replayed this game again, but now this time with the backstory of NieR Replicant. So yeah, I'll give it that 10 out of 10 for me. So that's all. I believe this is the last video. I don't think I have anything else to make of the game. I pretty much played everything. So yeah, the DLC, interesting. I didn't talk about the DLC, but the DLC doesn't bring a lot of context. It's nothing. It's just more for to give people a bit more challenge, something else to play, but nothing like really groundbreaking. But that's it. So always, guys, I'm glad that you watched the series. Hopefully you watch it. I don't know what the next video is going to be. I mean, I still playing 13 Sentinels, but I don't know if I'm going to add another game. That game is also interesting, so I want to focus on that one first. At least for some few videos more, and then maybe I'll start another game, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll about that, but we'll see. We'll see. That's all for the moment, as always. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That is all for the moment. EC the Gamer signing off, and I will see you on the next video.